Honeybees make colossal commitments to our horticulture and thusly our agribusiness. Considering that, here are a few things that probably won't have the option to endure a honeybee termination. 1. Meat industry. To effectively raise cows for the butcher, you need 4 things: rahages, grains, oil seeds, and results. Rahages and grains like grass, corn, and wheat self-fertilize through the breeze, so they would at present exist without our pollinator companions. Results can be made of anything nutritious, they simply give additional supplements and calories to the bovines. Oil seeds, then again, come solely through honeybee-pollinated plants, similar to canola and sunflowers. Dairy animals that need oil seeds, and the protein that they give, will endure medical issues, for example, hindered development, helpless origination rates, and desires to eat soil. Without a solid honeybee populace to fertilize these basic dairy cattle supplements, not exclusively will our foods grown from the ground flexibly wane, however so will our gracefully of meat. 2. World food supply. It's a given that honeybees are a significant piece of fertilization in agribusiness, however a great many people don't realize precisely how significant they truly are. Over the present reality, there are 100 fundamental assortments of yields that make up 90% of the human food flexibly. Think apples, bananas, avocados, and corn. Honeybees are the essential operators of pollination for 70% of these harvests. That implies around 65% of our food flexibly is straightforwardly subject to honeybees. While there are different types of pollinators, their impact is little contrasted with that of the honeybees. Bats, for instance, are the following greatest pollinator, however they incline toward plants with dull blossom hues. 3. Coffee industry. Notwithstanding different products of the soil, honeybees are likewise the essential pollinators for coffee. So without honeybees, our reality's coffee flexibly would lessen, and the business would lose its benefit. From the outset thought, this appears to be really irrelevant. Caffeine is anything but a human need, and the finish of espresso wouldn't mean starvation. 4. Clothing industry. Cotton is the most well-known texture material in the United States today. Verifiably, cotton was one of the greatest money harvests to ever develop on American soil, and a significant part of the nation's history is an immediate consequence of the plant. Today, it's assessed that 65% of ladies' dress and 78% of men's attire contain cotton as the primary material, with generally 50% of all garments items on the U.S. showcase containing simply cotton. Honeybees are answerable for most by far of cotton fertilization in the United States. So without honeybees, this $2.5 billion money yield would become dim of presence, taking with it the disappear of pants and a t-shirt. 5. Nut industry. Bees are fundamental to the developing of numerous sorts of nuts, including, however not constrained to, almonds and cashews. The world's biggest almond organization, answerable for 80% of the worldwide piece of the pie, focuses on the significance of utilizing honeybees to fertilize their harvests. Actually, this interest for honeybees is high to such an extent that the $3 billion almond industry possesses over a portion of the United States' whole populace of bees. Cashews are another critical nut that exploits honeybees. In Africa, cashews developed with bumblebee fertilization experience a 250% expansion in yield contrasted with falsely pollinated nuts. On account of honeybees, family cultivates in these territories twofold their wages and gain additional pay as an afterthought by selling the honeybees' nectar and wax.